DIY.
DIYers, welcome back. I am here with an exclusive interview, a follow-up interview with, before I even introduce this individual as the person that y'all all know him, I feel like I can introduce this individual now, as a friend. This is somebody I've been keeping in touch with over the years, and be it the introduction was through his work as the quote-unquote Everest College Guy, through our video work that we did together in the video that 2 years now is starting to get an uptick out of nowhere. We're going to talk about all those things and more. But before we get into that, first of all, Tunde, how are you doing, sir?
Feeling good, man.
Man.
Can't complain. Feel blessed.
Yeah,
Feel if daughters are good.
good.
That's first and foremost. But yeah, daughters are good. Family's good. My mom's good. My nephews, cousins, all that, aunts, uncles. Yeah, everybody's good, man. We're blessed.
Absolutely.
How about yourself?
I've been well. The last 2 years, I guess, since probably less than that. 2 years was the first interview we did. My channel has gone underneath so many different shifts, and with that comes a wealth of responsibility, which is another reason why I had to reach out to you. Channel's been good. I've been good. I have been going through so many different versions of who Curtis King is. As it stands today, as an artist, as a content creator, as a father, and all the above. And so it's been a beautiful journey nonetheless. But going back to that idea of responsibility, oh man, I felt a sense of responsibility when I woke up minding my damn business, as I'm sure you can relate to, minding your damn business. And then first there's the updates from a Say Cheese Media, or from a Revolt TV, from a Baller Alert, from a No Jumper. And all of a sudden, these folks have discovered gold in content that has been around for almost 2 years. In our conversation, circulating the story of how you became, what you say infamously, the Everest College Guy in the commercials. And as fortunate as it was that they're catching up to the conversation, it was unfortunate that they were reporting a lot of false information in the process. And so I felt a responsibility, especially with my name being all over the crediting of that video, to bring you on. You already addressed this, but I just feel like, and you said it too, I feel like it was only right that you and I come together and have this conversation. But first question I got for you, what is going through your mind? Because it seems like it's a very frequent thing that happens every so quarters, where somebody will discover something from that commercial and just start to, going crazy, and it goes viral. This was different, though, because this is actually a trending topic on Twitter. I don't know if you knew that. It's a trending topic on Twitter, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, oh, man. So what was your initial reaction when you saw this thing kind of taking off?
My initial, from my standpoint, you gotta understand, being in my skin, it's kind of weird. But I'm kind of used to it. Like you said, it happens every quarter. Like every quarter or twice a year or something, since like 2012, something Everest College will come, like Everest College Guy or something, some celebrity will tweet or post something on Instagram having to do with me, or
right.
Somebody will do their rendition of
right,
and they'll have 800,000 followers, so those 800,000 followers will be like, oh, we found them and all that. So yeah, it happens frequently. So this time I was just like, okay, whatever. But I think this time has been a little bit louder because, I mean, basically it was clickbait. They're trying to sell, The Everest College Guy admits he never went to, the never. Like, they took it out of context. I've been to college. Like, the people that were in college classes with me will tell you I was in college with them.
So I guess you weren't here in the room.
I could name drop too. I could name drop on some, not celebrity, but on some Phoenix celebrity, local celebrity type deal. But
right.
Yeah, I played basketball, Phoenix College. Yeah, I dated one of the Tommies or cheerleaders. I don't remember which it was. Yeah, we used to cipher in the lunchroom, like whatever. I went to Phoenix College for 3 semesters, maybe right. 3.5 semesters. And honestly, I wasn't even applying myself. I hate to say I went.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I attended, but like I was so chasing women and just smoking weed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I couldn't wait for basketball practice. I was one of them niggas, I couldn't wait for basketball practice to be over so I could go smoke a blunt.
Oh, they're gonna love that headline. You know they're gonna use that. You know, just letting you know now. You know they're gonna use that, and they're gonna say, "It was all a lie, ladies and gentlemen. It was all a lie. He was trying to get us to get up and do something with our lives, but it's not that."
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, and that's why I kind of addressed it, because I wanted to control the narrative, or kind of mitigate the narrative in in terms of, like, I've been removed from attending college for 5 years.
Right.
When I was a production assistant on the Everest College shoot. When I came up with the idea, like, I was removed. I was pursuing a different course. So and like I said, the whole Everest College situation was, I came up with a pretty good idea, and I was showing them my idea. I was demonstrating, this is my idea. This is how you should do it. This is how you need to do it. And I just happened to be the best messenger for my idea. You know, we were strictly shooting something to show corporate. You know what I'm saying? To show, like, oh, look, this is the idea we have, and that was how we went into it. Corporate saw it and was like, holy this is it. They started running it, and it was over. You know what I'm saying? They probably did it in one market or one, you know, I don't know how it works, how they buy time and stuff, buy marketing time and stuff on TV, but they ran with it, and it went viral before viral was viral, I guess, you know?
Yeah. And I have to reiterate this, because I talked about this offline, and that I kind of gave you a little bit of pushback, and I didn't give you pushback. That's what I wanted to do in our first interview, when you were like, I'm more infamous than I am famous. And I'm like, man, it's hard for me to give you my perspective and my peers' perspective, and like give that to you so that you can see it from our point of view, because you're you, right? But what I do remember is that, you know, in a time period where, unless you had, like, you know, bought some $500 cassette tape DVD pack of Tony Robbins motivation videos, or maybe you went to an event with Les Brown, and at my age, you just didn't have access to, at least for me, to motivational voices of that kind. Yet, of course, you were selling for Everest College. But there was a topic, and that's what I tried to cover in our video. There was a theme underneath it that was like, yo, get your shit together, bro. And it rings. It rings in my mind to this day, and it rings in the mind of a lot of people.
Everybody needs to hear at some point in their life, right?
Sure.
Like, nobody is immune. Even if it's not that specific message, there's a message that and everybody needs that at some point in their life. It's kind of like there's different approaches to coaching. You know what I'm saying? That's more of a Bobby Knight. My approach was more of a Bobby Knight than a Lute Olson or a Dean Smith, or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Very like, hey, in your face. And it worked, because everybody else was mid, right?
Right.
Everybody else was mid, so everybody else blended in. I like dropping these new slang words. Okay,
I like it.
If I misuse it, call me out.
I'm not. Look.
If I misuse it, call me out.
Don't forget. My
first time using mid, by the way.
It's all good.
That's my first time using mid.
I'm gonna support you 1,000%. In my household, my wife is 9 years younger than me. So there's a lot of times I get called out to be for whatever. So she's always, oh, don't put that on. You look like, you know, you're being a boomer. Like, I get all that stuff in my household. So I look at that. I ain't tripping. You know what's ironic though? You know, not to try to like yoga stretch and bring topics together. This generation is more in your face when it comes to their content creation. They are in your face in terms of like their criticism of you. They're in your face about a lot of stuff, and some of it is highly emotional. Like, I don't believe in cancel culture. We talked about that last time. I don't like the nature of some of that, but I do like the fact that you have kids who have access to information, and they're calling it out just as they see it right then and there. And to me, I have a theory of your voice being the way that it was ahead of its time, and was kind of a preview of the times that we're in now. When I look at even like this situation between Drake and Kendrick, when I look at, you know who needs your voice more than anybody right now? Probably already know the answer to that question right now.
Drake?
There's a guy in Canada right now Who I don't know if his I
funny.
don't know if his TV got those daily, you know, those JG Wentworth commercials and those DeVry commercials and you know, all of the, of course, the Everest College. I don't know if he ever got it, but damn it, he needs a voice that says, "Hey, maybe not get up off the couch, sit down." Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Drake wouldn't like me. Hey,
why you say that?
Know what? I'm not a good yes man. And I think those dudes, you got it. There's a certain amount of, even if they just meet you or make your acquaintance, they're going to expect you to bow down to their money and their wealth and their fame and their, you know, all their power. So like, I'm not a good yes man. Like, I'm not a good guy that, like, if you're all just into self-indulgence, like maybe when I was in my 20s, I would have been more there, but I'm not into just mindless self-indulgence or self-worship, or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's part of that looking at yourself in the mirror. You got to look at yourself in the mirror. Like I just, I'm not with the Drake lifestyle at all. But I think you never know what Drake does behind closed doors, though, in terms of how generous he is.
Right.
So, like, I mean, we all have character flaws. We all have personality flaws. None of us are above that. I just hope Drake is really and truly and sincerely pursuing self-improvement, not trying to be. The thing that worries me about Drake is he's still trying to be cool with the younger generation. And that kind of, I understand if it's a money thing, chasing the dollar, chasing the young dollar, I kind of get that.
Right.
But like, if you're, as a grown man, are trying to stay chilling with the young people, it just, like, I don't think you can ever fill that hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the distance I have with my daughters in that generation, and that I'm more of an authority, you know, voice or whatever. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to smoke and drink with that generation. Honestly.
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to party with that generation. Right. Now, if you're 45, if you're 42,
right.
Yeah, man, let's you know, I'm not saying we just have to smoke and drink, but that's more me. You know what I'm saying? Even 38-year-olds, all right, come on in the club. Come on, join. You know? But the conversation's gonna be different. I'm not gonna dumb down my conversation or what I'm interested in, and you know what I'm saying? And I shouldn't expect you to rise your shit up because you're on dumb shit. When I was your age, I was on dumb shit.
Yeah.
So there's an acceptance there, like, nah. I get it. I don't ever want the younger generation to lose respect for me. Like, that's why I won't ever smoke with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? My daughter works at the dispensary right now. She's here living with me, and she supplies my weed.
Right.
But yeah, it's a beautiful relationship.
I love it.
Like,
I love it.
No rent, just bring me more top shelf. Anyways, I won't smoke with her. Yeah. But I won't smoke with her because I don't want, like, and I won't drink with her. I don't want to ever see her. I don't want her to see me like belligerently drunk, or, you know what I'm saying, or at a place where she loses respect for her dad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I keep that with the whole generation.
Well, and maybe this is a great segue into why do you think, I gave my theory to it, but why do you think every time the conversation comes up about, man, when I was a kid, he was trying to get me off the couch and I was in middle school, and it still carries on? I told you offline, I said, I don't know of any other human beings from a commercial that we celebrate and that we repeatedly bring up, even celebrate. Sometimes some people clown, some people say, whatever it is, you continuously bring it up over and over again. There's no reason why. I don't even know how many years ago are we talking about when this thing first aired?
The first one I did, the one that everybody knows about, that, you know, the infamous one, that was late. That was like right before Thanksgiving, 2005.
2005. So we're talking about
Dwayne Wade and Shaq hadn't won the title yet.
Yikes.
Dwayne Wade and Shaq, I remember they won in 2006.
Right.
That summer. That June. So, like, Dwayne Wade and Shaq hadn't won the title yet. Dwayne Wade hadn't won the title. Yeah. You know, when this commercial aired.
So that means Kobe hadn't won his ring since Shaq left yet either. He didn't get Paul Gasol yet. So just to put it in perspective, but why do you think that even now it's something that is still cutting through in an era where, yes, there are conversations right now of a Drake versus Kendrick. I have a theory, but I want to hear your perspective in terms of why do you think it gets so much more steam now when it's so far removed from that time?
Yeah, I think there's a couple different layers to it. It's like an onion, but I think one of the ironic things I've noticed is like I've always been a kid person. I've always loved kids. I've always felt like if anything, humanity is charged with, above all else, protecting the innocence in kids.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've always thought we're charged with that before anything. And so I've always, even like my patience with adults can wane. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm not a very naturally patient person. So with adults, I'm like, ugh. You know,
right.
But with children, I've always had extra patience. I've always given extra attention. I've always, you know, just loved kids and adored kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, ironically, my kids' generation are the ones that are kind of always keep propping me up. Hey, remember this guy, how he used to talk to us?
Right.
And it's funny because that same love I gave these kids, they're giving back to me in a lot of ways. You know, a lot of them are talking shit. Yeah. But for most of them, it's really fun. It's like, ha, ha, ha. It's funny. It's fun. And they have fond memories at the end of the day of the commercial and me and all that.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of them reaching out, man. I get a lot of them reaching out. Like,
what are they saying when they're reaching out?
I screenshot all these DMs I get,
right?
And I started screenshotting them because there's people come, hey, you're the reason why I got two bachelors.
Wow.
Or you know what I'm saying? I got 2 bachelors and a master's, and you're the reason. Or I mean, I got a lot of those anecdotal, like, hey, man, I just want you to know, or a lot of them will go and watch our videos.
Right.
They'll watch the 2 hours we did, the initial 2 hours, then they'll watch the follow-up video, and then they'll just, hey, man, I just want you to know you're a cool guy, man. Yeah. Like, you know, I did this interview yesterday from people in Toronto, and the girl was like, yeah, we just watched your whole thing from back to back. We watched your 2-hour interview, and then your follow-up interview with Curtis King, and I just want you to know, our studio, our station, we just love you. I'm like, what? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? It feels good.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's just all in balance. I keep everything in balance. I don't get a big head. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's cool that these people that don't really know me are fond of me or think I'm interesting or have more memories of me. And that's cool and that's gratifying at some level. But, you know, like I said, I always say I gotta wipe my butt the same way everybody else does, man.
That's what you said.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what you said on that first interview.
Yep. Not gonna get me into heaven. All this, in all this human gratitude, all of this. Like, if I get 80 million followers, right, from all this, and get $80 million, none of that's gonna get me into heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just try to like mentally put it in perspective, like. This isn't what God's going to praise me for, what I did for Everest College. That's not what God's going to see my praises for. Got a lot more work to do.
Surely,
you know?
Surely. Well, and I wanted to ask you if you were comfortable with it, the other side of that, and that I know what it's like for me when I have a moment and say it's happened many times in the last few months. Nothing on the level of course, of the cultural impact that you've had. But when I see my name going viral, when I see people having these way out opinions about me who I've never met a day in my life, and they're not even at me, I'm just seeing it casually pop up, and I'm like, I didn't even know you knew who the hell I was, and you have these strong opinions about me. I get a sense of anxiety sometimes, right? I get to that place where it's like, how do I turn the water off? Do I want to turn the water off?
I told you. Right. There's some people out there, people don't know the interaction. When you first messaged me on Instagram, when all this stuff was bubbling up, and we were already in agreement. Before you even messaged me, I was like, I need to go to Curtis. I'm going to do something with Curtis to clear this up.
I appreciate
But when you first messaged me, it took me a while to get back to you, and I told you same thing. I was like, hey, sorry, man. Like the last 6 hours, I've been away from my phone. Whenever this kind of stuff happens, like I said, and I messaged you, whenever this kind of stuff, whenever my name starts bubbling up, I kind of get a little bit of anxiety, which is weird because I'm not anxious about nothing. I don't get anxiety about much. unless I get a weird strain, a weed or whatever. But I get a little
sativa.
bit of anxiety where I need to separate myself and not be around my phone at all,
Right.
and not look at it. I don't read the comments. Like I don't like. I think I'm pretty thick-skinned, but I don't want to internalize what people's opinion and good and bad. I don't want to like, man, this girl, man, she said I'm fine. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. I remember when I did yours. The first or the second one, I don't know which one I did.
Right.
I came home and my girl at the time, she's reading all. No, it was a live. I think it was the last one we did. But some woman said, "Oh, he looks like a ripe avocado or something." like I don't know if that was a compliment or what, but my girl was like, "How come this young 20-something, this 27-year-old?" I was like, "How you know she's 27?" She's like, "I already went to her page and did all the research." Yeah. And I'm like, she was commenting on it. You know how women are.
I know. Yes, I know.
But yeah, just to keep everything in balance and not, like I said, good and bad. I don't read comments. I don't really pay attention to all the hype and whatnot. I mean, on a general level, I do, but I don't like, oh, let me read these. Let me go through and he said something that it's kind of disrespectful. Let me think about that. Let me kind of dwell on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna do? Like,
see, there's a buddy of mine that is the reason. My guy Ruslan, he started off in the Christian hip hop space and news and reaction videos. Now it's much broader. His channel, both of his channels are out of here. He taught me the model that I have now of reacting to stories, and I was so conscious of this moving forward because I never like to gossip. I never want to do anything that can be perceived as gossip, because as a man, that just doesn't stand with my with my ethics. With that said, though, I met you at a time where I wasn't ready to have a lot of the conversations we were having in a public sense, because I didn't want to offend people, but it's like, if you're in this space and you're standing on your morals and you're standing on your code, that's already offensive, no matter what you do. And one piece of advice he gave to me is the same thing that you're doing right now, which is I said, do you even read the comments? He's like, no. He said, I am doing the work that is generating more comments than I can even keep up with. And that's how I know I'm doing the right work that I'm supposed to be doing. Like, it's obviously validated by God first, but him just telling me like he doesn't read into the comments, that's not his concern. I started to get to a place where it's like every once in a while, because I'm curious, I'll read into it, but the moment I see something that I'm just like, okay, that's just being said because the video's popular and you're just being, that's cool. I appreciate you. Or somebody else who's saying something negative, I'm just like, I don't even know what you ate this morning. You know what I'm saying? You could have burnt your toast this morning and it ended up I could have ended up in front of your face. I could look like your boss. And this is the reason why you hate me. Or what I have no, how you feel about me is none of my business. It's been kind of my motto. So now moving forward, it's a lot easier. So when you made the initial video, I want to make sure that we cover everything that you want to cover on this, but when you made that initial video, I even saw some reactions from people who are like, he's cursing and I'm like, have you not watched the interviews? This is a real human being. Like, what are we doing? Why do you think that
my best friend Alicia. Hi, Alicia. Alicia Gillum, my best friend. She got at me like right when I posted it. She hit me up like 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
Oh my God, why did you curse? And I'm like, what's the big deal? She's like, and she's professional. And this is my problem. I don't think like this. Right. She's on some like, yo, we're trying to brand you. This is your brand. How are we going to market your brand? How are we going to use your brand to market such and such and this and this and that?
Right.
If you're cursing. And I'm telling her, like, number one, I'm speaking to my audience. I know my audience.
Right.
World Star is like the younger generation, they're 20, 30s and 20-year-olds. And so when I say, hey, y'all need to calm the fuck down, my approach is that of a uncle.
Yeah.
Like telling them, hey, y'all kids, y'all quit from running down the hall.
Right.
That was the approach. That was my approach. Like, as an uncle, hey, y'all need to calm the fuck down. Like, basically, like, if I'm really offended or pissed off or wanting to fight or have something, it's not calm the fuck down. Mm-hmm. It's back the fuck up.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
A little different language type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like I'm telling her, like, and secondly, I already have the audience.
Mm-hmm.
like I created my own audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like these people, like it's you know what I'm saying? Like so
Yeah.
if people want me to market something, I already have the audience you're looking for, homie. Once
Yeah.
they see this,
Right.
once they see this, and
It's
when I
like
was,
you
I
locking
gotta
him.
tell you, when I first started, when I check it out, when I first started wearing my hat, like the whole thing
Right,
was to
right.
try to line up the crease right here, the little angle
Yeah, yeah.
with the curve of my eyebrow, right? And so I don't know. When I'm in my 20s, that
Yeah.
made sense. It made perfect sense, and that was like my thing. Like, let
Yeah.
me, all right, let me line it up, and
That's it.
okay, I'm ready to go.
I'm
You know, that was
symmetrical.
like the
I'm ready to
last
go.
step.
Right. It's symmetrical. But see, this is the part that pisses me off. And I mean genuinely, I mean this. How are you gonna say, man, Tunde, I love how like you straightforward, you getting at these people, you telling them get your ass off the couch. Obviously there's, censorship because it's TV, but you telling them, get your ass up. What are you doing? You still here watching the same Jerry Springer episode? Get up and do something. Like you're giving them that energy, and then the moment you give them that energy to World Star, who inaccurately reported that you never went to college, you give them that energy, it's like, oh, you thought that was an act? Or how did you expect the same person that got you off the couch to be years later? That's why I'm like, what more do you want from him?
Yeah, yeah.
No,
But
yeah.
it was like I approached it as an elder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these little kids are getting it wrong. Y'all get your facts straight. It was
Yeah.
like I'm an elder though. Like it was like I would talk to my nephews. Like y'all calm the fuck down, man.
Yeah.
What's wrong with y'all? Like you know what I'm saying?
We
Like
need
that's
you
how I
more.
talk to my nephews.
We need you more now than ever. We need you more now than ever. We need your voice. I'm gonna keep on bothering you about coming out there and whatever I can do to assist or
Yeah,
help.
man.
Not that you need it.
I'd be happy to have you. The
Not
thing
that
is,
you
if
need
you
it.
come out here, it's gonna be like a misery situation. I'm just gonna keep you out here. You can't go back home. I'm gonna say, hey, your wife and your kids, they can come here with me, but I'm not gonna let you go back. So just know I'm gonna abduct you like misery style.
Man,
Okay?
the way that heat work out there in Arizona, it may not let me make my feet get off the pavement or how hot it is out there. Oh my
Oh, that's
God.
the thing. You can't come in the heat. You gotta wait till
Gotta wait a little bit.
October.
Let's wait. Yeah,
October.
let's wait a little October-ish.
October. I'm just saying for your well-being. It's hot as hell.
Oh, I
Yo, you
imagine
got
it
the
is.
perfect weather out there. When I went out there, I was cold.
Yeah,
Like,
you were cold.
yeah, I was cold.
Man, with that said, so is there anything else that you want the people who are reporting this now, that are, because I want to switch gears, that are reporting this now, that are going to report this in the future? Is there something that you as the human being want these people to know, or even from the perspective of the quote unquote Everest College Guy?
No, nothing.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna be people. They might be headlines off of this interview. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what's
Everest
coming.
College Guy says he loves Jesus, or whatever. Human nature is human nature. I don't think they're trying to hurt me. I just think they're trying to do clickbait again. As the elder, I don't want to say statesman, but as the elder, that's how I'm approaching this. And it's like, come on, kids, do better.
Yeah.
I know you're doing what you're doing, for money and for, I know why. I understand the game. I understand the machine, the game, and all that. And I don't have a publicist. I don't have somebody watching over. So I just addressed it directly.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was cool. I hope something happens out of it. My family, my friends, they're all like, "You got to monetize this now."
Yeah.
Well,
you got good folks in your corner.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. You got good.
Yeah.
I'm one of them good folks. I hope the folks see that. I'm one of them good folks in your corner that whatever I can do, I would love to.
See, hear me out. This is my struggle. This is my internal struggle. Like, I think I have a disdain for the fact that people are famous for no talent. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to embrace it and be like, well, this is how it is. And so just join the pack and just add you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just see people with, again, 800,000 followers for what?
Yeah.
Because they could beat this level on a video game, or because you know what I'm saying? It's weird. And so it makes me apprehensive of wanting to toss my hat into the ring. No pun intended, or pun intended. But it just gives me some apprehension on it. And again, I got to look at myself in the mirror, and ultimately, like, again, I said, none of this stuff is going to get me into heaven. So like, am I feeding my flesh, and am I putting money for, like, I don't know. It's just, it's conflicting for me. You know what I'm saying?
It's something I get conflicted with.
Now I want money. I want money. And like, I have goals. Like, I have ministries and stuff that I want to fund. And, you know, if I had $50,000, that'd be a great start to a ministry. People, by the way, $50,000 right here would be a good, you know, partner with me. Anyway, that'd be a good start for my ministry.
Right.
But again, that's serving God. That's all giving it to God. That's giving my energies to God. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to sell out for personal gain. I could sell out for God. You know what I'm saying? I could do that.
I get it.
But for me to look in the mirror and like, yo, I really, you know, and then what is that? What's that line? It's all, my selling out is different from your selling out, different from her selling out.
Sure.
Different for, I'm old school hip hop.
Yeah.
So my selling out, I'm like, that, you know, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that corporation. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? That's still part of me. Don't get me wrong. I want to be comfortable. I would love to have $5 million right now and buy property in Hawaii and just retire. And that's I love that. Do a ministry in Hawaii. I love that. That's my dream. But like, what am I willing to do for that? You know what I'm saying?
I get that. And
I'm not gonna suck a dick for $5 million. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you, Diddy.
I'm about to say you probably shouldn't have put a number amount on that, because you know the internet will flip that. Well, how much would you need?
$5 million and one.
You can't put a dollar amount on that kind of shit, because the internet go for sure be like, headline, he said for it. No, so no, but I relate to that so much, because you know, when I first got into the space, I got into the space as somebody from the West Coast, as somebody who grew up in Carson, California, and you know, so many different spots in the Inland Empire. Like I've the Curtis King story. You can't tell it without telling about all the hoods that I have lived in. I know the way that I present myself and articulate. People have some kind of preconditioned notion about who I am and where I came from. But it's like, I came up in that generation when my grandmother would be like, when you go in this JCPenney, don't you embarrass me in front of these white folks. And so there's been a disconnection at times between, you know, how much do I show my ass to let you know who you're dealing with? I'm still Dewan is my government name. But at the same time, how do I show an example that some people are going to be meeting somebody black for the first time through this medium, right? Are going to be seeing us in a different light. So I had those, but you said something that really hit me, and I appreciate you saying it, because in my opinion, you know, we talk about like pop icons and all these things when it talks about, you know, that particular culture, that whatever that is, mainstream culture. But when I think about like icons, whether you see it like that or not, you are forever embedded in our memory. And I'm looking at this like you are a cultural icon. I know Kendrick know who the hell you are. I know all these different, I know Redman know who the hell you are. DMX obviously know who the hell you are. You talked about that story when you met him in the mall he was shopping for jewelry, but you are embedded in hip hop culture forever. And a lot of us just are TV culture. But when you said something to me, and I don't know if you mind repeating that, but you said there was a reason why you wanted to come to me. Man, that really made my morning when we talked about this today.
Oh, because you're the culture. Like, bottom line, like I did this, I'll be straight up. I'm transparent. I did this interview yesterday. These people in Toronto. You know, it was media, whatever. I won't mention it just because I don't know how it's gonna pan out and all that. Right. I did an interview yesterday, but then there's stuff on here that I wouldn't dare breach over there. I wouldn't bring up over there. Because this is the culture. Like, this is a good outlet. This is a culture outlet because you represent the culture. Culture's tuned into you. You're the same, like the same thing you're saying, I'm an icon. What's great about you and witnessing you is I'm watching your stuff bud and build.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I think somebody like you in 15 years, I mean, who's a black dude that owns the that owns the television?
Byron Allen.
Allen or
Byron Allen. Byron Allen.
What is it?
Byron Allen.
Byron Allen.
Yeah,
I could see somebody like you. You might be a Byron Allen in music.
That's interesting.
And you might get your own streaming. You know what I'm saying? Like you're already on that DIY. You just pulled your stuff off of streaming. You're already there, and you already have the media in the like you're already getting your elbow room in terms of like, this is who I am and establishing your identity.
Right.
So in 15, 20 years, you could be that for music. And then watching you bubble up and build, like your icon status might make me look like, I remember when he had that one guy.
Stop it. No, because you know what's going to happen? I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get it.
The potentiality is there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so it's all there. It's all the work. The thing is, you're putting in the work. So why not? You know what I'm saying? You're consistently putting in the work.
Yeah.
That's the trajectory I see you on.
I appreciate
You know what I'm saying? And so, hopefully I'm being prophetic in this.
I hope so. Well, I hope so. Well, except
for Jesus. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would say, with the exception of the forgotten, this is something I always, even to a fault, because I deal with a lot of like gangster rappers. I deal with a lot of like just different types of backgrounds. And one thing that always makes all these men in general very uncomfortable: I will give you your roses while you are living. It's never on no funny stuff. It's never on nothing. It's just a matter of, I love to see you win. I don't have to be winning with you for me to love to see you win. For some people, they look at that and they look at that like, oh, you plotting on me. Or it's none of that. So anytime that I get brought up, I'm going to always bring up a name that's like, why are you bringing this person up? Because they were impactful in my life. And it's not impactful in a time period or window. I'll bring you up 30 years from now. We're going to have the same conversation we having now.
Word.
With the same,
God willing.
God willing. That's what I'm saying. God willing. So I look at this and be like, I can. And this is why I want to get into a hip hop conversation, because I think that culturally something is happening. It feels like a reset button has been pushed. And a lot of folks who may have been detached, a lot of folks who may have been questioning their place, I think they're at a place now where they're asking questions that are good to ask for our own evolution, for our connection. Speak on it.
Segue.
Speak on it, yeah.
Because like I'm at a crossroads right now with the culture in general.
Okay.
I just feel in terms of hip hop, like, look at all the investment we've done into hip hop. We've invested our life into hip hop. All the CDs, all the musical equipment, all the concerts, like buying merch. I remember I bought the NWA fake police badge, homie. Right. It was like, it said, the badge said "fuck the police" on it. I bought that. You know what I'm saying? I had my homeboy's mom get it for me because my mom wouldn't order that shit for me.
Sure.
I tricked my homeboy's mom to order me the "fuck the police" badge NWA from the niggas. It was a thing in the Niggas for Life tape.
Right.
Got the tape, you could get it out and order it. Right. I first tried to order it. I sent cash. I sent cash, like ordered it. Put cash in there, didn't get anything back. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, no, you got to do a check. Anyways, so NWA, you owe me for that. Anyways, I'm sorry. Tangent. Anyways, I've invested so much of myself into this culture. So much of myself. And I was disillusioned on this culture. Like, there's people like Diddy, right, who had a lot of cachet and a lot of influence and a lot of clout with this culture. But from my standpoint, looking hindsight being 2020, they got it fraudulently. Meaning, like, don't get me wrong, what he did for Uptown, what he did for Mary, what he did for Jodeci, what he did for all that, what he did for Biggie, like post Biggie, this shit was fucking lame to me. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like, and it always has been. So, but my point though is, this is my bigger point though. If he had been 100 with who he was in terms of being a bisexual, all this stuff, would he have had that cachet and clout?
Not at that time. No, hell no. Not at that time. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, you misrepresented yourself and utilized the clout you had and all that, but it was like, if people knew the real you wouldn't have been afforded that. That's how I feel. But see, that's how I'm feeling about the culture. Like, we don't self-police. I always felt like black culture, hip hop culture, we need to be self-policing. Hip hop is very pro-black, the roots of it, all that, very like, it's our fucking culture. It stems from the spirit of the Panthers. Like, we need to be self-policing. And I don't see any fucking self-policing.
No accountability.
Yeah, I see a bunch of indulgent fucking frat boys playing grab ass. You know what I'm saying? Talk about black empowerment, and that's cool that, you know, half your block are now millionaires because you brought them up. I respect that. Getting people out of poverty of any race, especially black people, though, yeah, I respect that. But once we get there, if we act, if nobody's holding these motherfuckers accountable, and if money is the big, great justifier, like, oh, Puffy's rich, what do you want me to say to him? These aren't men.
That's not
These
enough.
aren't men. These aren't men by my definition. I'm not like that with my friends, homie.
Right.
My friends are out of line on some, like, wait, hold up.
Call them out.
Hold up. Like, we can't be friends if this kind of shit. I'm correcting you so that we can still be friends. Fuck the job I have, fuck the money I have, fuck what I'm getting from you. Excuse my language. I'm sorry, Lord.
You good. I told you it's unfiltered. We unfiltered here. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm at this crossroads with hip hop. Like, I've invested so much in this, and I've been disillusioned about this shit, man.
Well, especially today. Today,
we're not self-policing. When Kanye, and I realized it when Kanye, with the Kanye shit, when Trump and nobody, it was crickets. I think Talib and a few people said something to Kanye about, like, whoa, man, what do you do? But other than that, it was crickets. And it was like his money and his status justified everything. And I'm like, there's a bunch of bitches in hip hop. I'm not one of y'all bitches.
Talk about it.
I'm like, nah, I'm not letting this shit ride. This is hip hop. This is how we're supposed to inform each other and put each other up on, like, on what time it is.
But getting
infiltrated from within. Seeming like we're getting infiltrated from within because of Kanye. That's unacceptable, and no, it's crickets. It's fucking crickets.
It is crickets.
So I'm like, I gotta take a step back and observe this culture, this quote unquote culture, and is it doing more destruction at this point? Because it's like it's a bunch of spoiled brats fucking twerking and fucking and like it's like I don't know. It's just
no. Well, I was gonna add this point to it. I was gonna say that I 1000% agree with you, and this is why I felt the need to make the kind of content I do on his channel. We're reacting to stuff that I'm like, for instance, just to give you a micro example. Meek Mill was at a shoe, independent shoe, let's just say convention, and there was different vendors there that were trying to make $1 for what they do. They have rare shoes, they're selling them. Meek Mill went in there and tried to use his celebrity to lowball the price that the guy was asking for. The guy wasn't asking for a price that was unreasonable because it was Meek Mill. He was saying, this is a rare shoe, this is the price. Meek Mill tells him with a handful of money in front of all these people, say, I got to show you how to hustle. And when I see this kind of like arrogance, when I see that can only be a product of being in an environment where nobody's calling you on your shit, or you're not listening to anybody call you on your shit, I, as a 39-year-old man, would not be okay in that environment. Which is why I pushed myself away from the industry, because I know that I have a mouth on me. As much as I'm like, you know, I understand how to hold myself in a certain respect, I will speak up the fuck up for myself. And so when I'm looking at these situations, I'm like, it's a bunch of folks who are patting each other's backs when folks are doing wrong. They're putting pacifiers in each other's mouth because we're rich. And that shit just don't hold for me. So now what I look at, like zooming out of this whole situation now, I look at it and I say, that's because that's not hip hop. That's mainstream rap. That's the commercialization of this idea, the commercialization of this community first initiative, this community first activity. It's so disconnected because even mainstream rap has its own segments, right? We did a video the other day that's talking about why in the hell are we the only genre that doesn't have an adult contemporary separation? Why is Snoop Dogg competing with a 310 Baby, who I think he just drill folk, somebody who just graduated high school the day that their song came out? Why are we having conversations about Snoop fell off compared to him because he's not selling? And it's like, no, put that in another section. There's a reason why folks like Killer Mike are winning their Grammys, and there should be other sections for that. The issue is that the commercializations, the powers that be, these companies all saw this shit as nigga music. And they put it all in the same category, and they treat it as such. And they said, there's no nuance. There's no difference between old rappers and young rappers. And it's all commercialization in their mind. So when I see what you're saying, I 1,000% agree. But I also feel like it is partly our responsibility, not to go on the rant because this is about you. But I saw this comedian, Josh Johnson, that talked about, to understand the significance of the Pop-Out show by Kendrick, you got to understand someone like a Nipsey Hussle. And that Nipsey Hussle gave back to his community, bought shoes for the kids in his community, refreshed basketball courts with like torn down environments, torn down basketball hoops. He invested into this. He had these office spaces that he had in the hood that he created off of an $8 million net worth. Now think about all these fucking rappers that make up to $1 billion, make hundreds of millions, and they're so focused on buying football teams, and it's like, you want to be like the quote unquote oppressor, but you won't do anything that actually can move the needle, and you have the money 10 times, quadruple times over. This man did that with $8 million. That shows you that it's a matter of it's a different perspective when you're in the game of mainstream rap, and that's the only thing I want to say about that.
Well, yeah, it's about why.
Yeah, what is your why?
At the end of the day, it's about why, and I think it's people. I think like whether it's God Body, the 5% stuff, or whatever, all of like hip hop should be about self-improvement. Same way artists are we're always rapping and DJing and doing the music to get out of situations, poverty-stricken situations. That's for betterment. We're trying to better ourselves.
Right.
You understand? So Kendrick's pushing it. You understand? His last album was about mental health. But you know what's funny about Kendrick? I think all his albums were about mental health. It was about black mental health, black male mental health, and black female mental health. All of them were. All of them. I just realized that I was listening to, I was like, wait, hold up. All of these are mental health.
Yeah.
He's always been talking about mental health. Even in Section 80, he was talking about mental health. It's a common theme. So anyways, but it's about betterment. So if that means counseling, a lot of people are doing counseling because we're maturing and humanity is maturing. And so like, you know, a lot of people are doing counseling. Some of that is, you're not going to be ready for counseling unless somebody calls your shit out and tells you how toxic or destructive or hurtful or whatever your behavior is, and they gotta rub your nose in your own shit, like a little puppy or something. Like, yo, like what the fuck, you know? And there has to be some self-realization on that, and it's not going to come unless people are called out on their stuff. And that's why I feel like we need to self-police. We have to not be okay and like, fuck your money. Fuck your money, fuck your status. Nah, that Drake, look at Drake. Same thing. Like we gotta be in a place where you gotta be the same no matter if I'm dealing with the custodian, janitor, CEO, you know what I'm saying? You got to deal with them the same. You can't have, wait, I'm going to deal with this person differently. No, that's not what men do, as far as my definition.
No, facts.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have some integrity. I don't know.
No, you're on point. I don't want to, you were cooking. I don't want to interrupt you, but I think that is what we're seeing right now.
Wait, real quick too, though.
Yeah.
Real quick, Curtis.
Yeah.
I wanted to interject before I forget.
Go ahead.
Also, I think our voice has a lot to do with this, and I think, I don't know if I said this on this recording or before we recorded, but I think our voice has been prostituted.
Yeah, talk about that. Yeah, we talked a little bit.
I think our voice, black voice, has been prostituted and bastardized and exploited the heaviest. We're the biggest. We're the biggest export in America. Black culture. We're the biggest. In what way specifically? In America.
What way specifically do you think it's been like that? When you say that, what way specifically do you think that it's kind of been bastardized?
We're the gatekeepers of cool. From music to whatever. If we don't sign off on it, it's not even hip.
To this day.
That's really for the world. That's really for the world. Look at world music. They're all African beats, homie. World music is all African beats. When it comes to world music, what I'm saying is we're the flavor of the world. You know what I'm saying? And so we have a lot of power, but we waste our voice on bullshit. Our voice has been marginalized to Tyler Perry movies, to Oprah and that whole kind of like the OWN. And I love Oprah and Tyler Perry. I'm not dissing. I'm just saying we've been marginalized in a lot of BET is reality shows loving something, loving hip hop or loving bullshit. And it's a bunch of bitches with eyelashes like this, throwing drinks on each other and fighting and pulling hair.
Throwing drinks and shit.
Asserting their weak and not well thought out opinions about life and about everything. And
asserting even male energy too. I'm about to say asserting even male energy too in the process, which is something that that's a whole other topic in itself.
And a bunch of like trans men and I'm not dissing trans, I'm not dissing gay. I'm just saying like we've been marginalized. This is our voice. It's drama, whether it's Tyler Perry drama, Oprah drama, or reality show drama. We've been marginalized highly, and like we have better voices in that, but we choose to use our voice. For me, it's like tap dancing.
Yeah, that's all it is. Well,
we're entertaining Whitey through this fucking reality television,
giving them the same stereotypes that they already had to begin with, and now we're reinforcing them almost to a point where it's a buffoonery of the stereotype and not actually a reflection of reality. Like we can find examples, like for instance, I look at one of the artists right now that are the most popular, which I think is insane, because I feel like I've met the avatar she represents in a Sexy Red. Like I've met her at the swap meet. I've met her when I lived in San Bernardino. Matter of fact, I didn't took down a Sexy Red before. Make sure my wife don't hear that. I didn't took down one before in my life, right? I've been there. I know what that's all about. So when I see her, I'm like, oh, they let that get to the mainstream. Okay, I get it. But then there's also part of me that's like, how much is it her being herself at times, and how much are they encouraging, which we'll never know, encouraging her to like, well, do a little bit more of this. We really like it when you go crazy with, when you go on that country music stage, we want you to twerk on him. You should do that. That'd be kind of really crazy. It'll be a viral moment. I look at that and I'm like, I don't like the people who are directing this movie. I don't like the ones who are directing the branding of somebody else, especially when they themselves have no connection to the culture outside the people that they signed. Now, another perspective I want to give, and this is kind of playing devil's advocate, but for a really good reason, because I didn't tell you, but last time you came out here for the podcast, I was a little disappointed. You want to know why? I wanted to rap with you that day. I was already ready for it. I was ready to make a beat. I wanted to rap with you because if those who don't know, Tunde is a lyricist, is an artist who has put out music and continues to put out and puts his freestyles on his platform. Like he raps.
Check out Hit 'Em. Everybody check out Hit 'Em.
Check out Hit 'Em. He raps.
I like Hit 'Em.
So when you came out here last time,
I think I'm a sampling genius on Hit 'Em. I gotta tell you this.
Yeah.
When I was in fifth grade, I used to do these pause mixtapes. Okay. Right. And my dad always had a great system, like in terms of music. He's a musician. I got my love for music from him, like genetically and all that. And otherwise, in nature and nurture, I got my love for music from him.
Right.
But he always had dope systems. He always had a good record player. He always had a good Sony receiver. He always multiple speakers, not just stereo, but he had surround sound in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And so where am I going with this? So when I was young, and we always had good VHS and all that, so I figured out how to take the VHS outs, put them into the tape outs, because he had the tape record player.
Yeah.
And I put the tape in, and I could sample like Beverly Hills Cop and The Golden Child, and we had all the Eddie Murphy movies, so I would sample them and I would splice them in between, like in Ghetto Boys. Willie D would say something that was offensive, or he would say something like, and then I would have Eddie Murphy coming in there and saying something counter to make what Willie D said funny or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or be a call and response. And to this day, my cousin goes crazy over those. Like he says, man, I wish you had those. So in Hit 'Em is my adult version of what I used to do in fifth grade. All those samples and trying to make it funny with samples and the humor, and then being self-deprecating, and even making fun of the Everest College Guy thing.
Right.
Yeah, check out Hit 'em. I love Hit 'em.
Yeah.
Check
out Hit 'em. So the point I was gonna make with that, so definitely check out Hit 'em, as he says. The point I was gonna make playing devil's advocate is this, in that we're now in a stage of hip hop where voices like yours and mine are very critical of a lot of the music that's being put out there. And it's not even just us, it's those who are the age of the younger artists who are saying, hey, I'm just more diverse of a human being than what you're giving me. I don't know why you're rapping about the same exact thing. I'm already bored of this because you're not understanding how dynamic of a human being I am. With that said, I do feel like it is our responsibility. My grandma used to have a saying where she said, the more you know, the more you owe. I do feel like it's part of our responsibility as artists to push the envelope and show them an example of, hey, see, rapping about this is an option. Me being the age that I am, rap, like I made a song for my last project, Extended Warranty, one of my last projects, called I Told My Wife I Want to Rap Again. Because I just know so many artists that are going through that situation where it's a girlfriend or a wife that's like, you really want to.
Good, I love that.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I look at that and I got some younger artists that are like, oh, that's corny, or you gotta check in with your wife to rap. And it's like, that's not what it's about. What it's about is I am extending the life, or I like to feel like I'm helping to extend the life and even the concept offering of what a rapper can give when you talk about these things, because they're still human stories. You know who doesn't have an issue with this? Country music. You know who doesn't have an issue with this? All these rock genres, who can make the most abstract songs about the most boring shit in life. But with us, it feels like, and this is not hip hop, this is more so mainstream rap, there seems to be a blockage. And I'm loving seeing, like, for instance, Pete Rock and Common just released the Auditorium Volume 1. I haven't got a chance to listen to it, but I've seen their media run and just seeing how reinvigorated Common is. I'm seeing LL Cool J go on his run, how reinvigorated he is. We just talked about Eminem just dropped his album. And even though that's probably the most... I haven't heard it yet. Even though it's got...
I haven't either, man. But I've seen some of the younger people on my timeline. Like,
identifying with some of the stuff.
Late 30s, early 30s, late 20s. They're liking the Eminem. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check it out.
So
like,
to drive everything home, I'm gonna land this one, and I'm gonna send it off to you. But these artists, all are examples. Even Eminem brings a segue into Redman. So we're now, folks, that's one of your favorite rappers. I remember talking to you about. So my thing is this, and I want to pose this question to you after saying all of this. One day, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, somebody will look at this era of time in our music genre and culture. And I think they're going to ask questions before this period of time of, why didn't we hear from the elders more? When you were the most wise, when you knew the most about the bullshit that the industry had to offer you, when you had all these different things that you could have provided value to folks, even in our own age groups, why is it that's the time we decide to start podcasting and not rapping no more? Why are we not using that God-given gift to use that somebody may not want to listen to a 2-hour podcast, but a 3-minute song, they'll give your idea an opportunity. I question that for me as a 39-year-old rapper, like, damn, like, what does that look like? Me getting out here doing shows, da-da-da. But I'm like, that's hip-hop. How dare us come up and be a nuisance to society, like, fuck this, fuck that, I don't believe in this shit, da-da-da. And then when we get to an age where we can actually do something about it, we're like, I don't know how I'm gonna look in front of these people trying to rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I want to get your opinion on that, because you yourself, you still sound so polished, you still continue to evolve. I'm listening to, when you do drop those freestyles, I'm listening to how the music ages from the music you made before. What's sort of your viewpoint zoomed out on all of that stuff?
Ask me specific. You gave me a lot. Ask me something. Ask me.
So more so about age and hip hop, age and hip hop, and the responsibility we have in the space.
Okay. I think, like, look at Nas, man. I think Nas is doing it beautifully. I think somebody was talking about how somebody was saying, I think it was my homeboy. I don't know if it was online or a homeboy, but he was saying that Nas cares about the culture. Jigga's just trying to get rich. You know what I'm saying? Jigga is all about, you know what I'm saying? And him and Beyonce doing their thing, they're getting rich. And yeah, they'll drop a little bit here and there. He might hear, like, but he's money. Like, oh, you know, money. And Nas is like, yeah, he's got money. You know what I'm saying? I think he's got close to $1 billion from selling and all that,
Right.
selling his business ventures and being a venture capitalist and all that. But he actually is in his just artistic bag. Like, yo, let me put out another album.
Right.
I mean, is that this year 3? Fuck it, let's go for, you know what I'm saying? He's just putting out albums, and that's beautiful to see. I think reading ignites my lyricism. And so the more I'm learning, the more everything's evolving, everything's maturing. And it's fine wine because I got more perspective because I'm older. You know what I'm saying? So like when I read, I'm understanding the perspective from the characters of the book and the author and all that. But as a lyricist, I love words.
Yeah.
I love like words. So like reading is everything. Reading gives me the words. If I don't know a word, I have a pad. Like if I'm reading a novel or something and there's a word I don't know, I'll write it down.
Yeah.
And then I'll research it later. Yeah. Or sometimes I want to know the context within right now. So I'll just go, no, you know what I'm saying? I love words. I love how they're very exact. You can be exact with words. If you know the right word, you can be precise. You can be surgical. Like, no, I don't mean, you know, hot. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know, you could be very, very exacto knife with words. And and I think that's a challenge. And I think, you know, everybody has different motivations as they age. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if my motivation for rhyming is the same as Nas's, but as my vocabulary grows, I want to put this stuff into my rap vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Not to sound smart. I always felt like T.I. just used fucking fancy words to sound smart. I'm not a T.I. fan. No,
right.
I never understood his talent. There's certain people I just don't understand their talent.
There's definitely, I grew up listening to a lot of T.I., and so. For me, when I looked at him, it was like he kind of represented, you know, he came in on the, you know, he showed like the street intelligence and also like the other side of intelligence. And I feel like he did a good balance of showing these things. But you're right. Sometimes he did do some super fragilistic and it just alidocious shit just because he could. It did become, and I think that's something else too, to kind of like bring everything home is that people are asking for more authenticity in the things that they've asked from before, even more than they've ever asked. And part of that authenticity, I think sometimes is not having such a self-realization that you're like, I'm going to do the thing. Does that make sense? Like you're so self-aware that it loses its character and its appeal, right? It's almost like, for instance, LeBron is an example. LeBron, they always clown him because, you know, he tells these half truths when he's in interviews. For instance, they asked him about Malcolm X book, and he never in any of his photos got past the first pages. But he's telling you, yeah, I read it, and you know these are the things that I got from it. It got to a point where he started bringing out books just to kind of troll people, and it's like it's not funny anymore because you're too self-aware. For me, for you, it would be like you coming up and doing the Everest College commercial because of the see you recreating that. And then doing the same it's like, no, you're too self-aware now. That's why I love when you're talking about ideas that you have creatively of how you want to kind of like capitalize upon the attention that's going around it, because it's such an authentic way to approach that. So that's where I want to make sure that I give you your props and your roses on that, because not everybody is actually self-aware enough to not look like a buffoon of an avatar of themselves, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think, you know, it's funny, perspective is everything, right? And I always say, like, I'm in my skin. Like, the idea came here. So it's like, I had this idea in my brain, and my brain manifested this whole situation. And so it's very empowering. You see what potentially you can do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just have it right here. I just like, yeah, you know what? I would do it like this. I would talk to them like I know. I would talk to them like their family. This is how, oh, you don't know? Watch, I'll show you. This is what I would. And so that all this stuff is materialized. We're here because of this little idea. You know what I'm saying? World starts posting and millions of people are like, oh, because of this crazy idea I had. And so that's very empowering. And it should be, and more than anything, I want people to be inspired by that. Like that idea that you have could change the world. I have ideas like, okay, I'm going to give you this idea right now. I have this idea because people think it's a one-off. People think I caught lightning in a bottle with Everest. Man, if you mind my brain, especially with marketing and that commercials, like ad agencies, like I can make an ad agency very rich. And myself in the process. Check this out. I'm going to give you this one, right? This is easy. Jumpman, hit me up. Jordan Brand, Michael Jordan, hit me up. I got the perfect, and then I feel like people are, wait, hear me out. Then I feel like people are slow with their marketing, right?
Right.
Homie, after Luka's year, like this next NBA season needs to be a Luka freaking fest, homie. Like I'm just being real. He's a white man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just got
like,
to his first finals. Yeah.
He's more dynamic and fun to watch than even the Joker.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Joker's fun to watch. Don't get me wrong.
He is? He is?
Well, I'm just saying he can pass when he hits his shots. Like, I mean, it's arguable.
He can pass. No, I'm playing.
I'll give you that. But hear me out.
I'm a Laker fan, by the way, so I'm a Denver hater. Yeah.
Yo, check it out. It's a Super Bowl commercial. Super Bowl commercial, right? For Jordan Brand, for Luka. You got Luka practicing shooting on one end of the court, right? Everybody, again, I'm all into leaning into the stuff people avoid. I'm going to play on the fact he's white. So on the sideline, while he's practicing and doing this stuff, Larry Bird and Eminem are going to be critiquing him. Right?
Okay.
And Luke is doing all this stuff, and he's fantastic. He's killing it and all that. And they're just sitting there, and the whole time they're like, yeah, he's all right.
All right.
He smiles too much. Larry Bird and Eminem never smile. Luka smiles constantly.
All the time. Yeah.
So I want him to be doing stuff and all this, and the whole time Bird and Eminem are like, they're kind of looking at you, hey, it's okay. It's okay. They don't crack a smile. They're not impressed.
Right.
But they're like, and then at the end, he kind of looks at them, and he's like, hey, you know, what's up? And he's like, they're like, I think you smile too much or whatever.
Yeah,
you know, maybe Marshall, like, you know. But Bird and Eminem making a play on the great white, like these are legit, like, white men that have done great things.
Right.
All
they're solidified forever, no matter what.
Yeah. Right. So he's in good company. But check it out. So that could be one commercial, but then it could be. I know I'm being long-winded.
No, you're good. You're good.
I don't think Anthony Edwards is Jumpman, but if he was,
he's Adidas.
After Eminem and them are critiquing him, like somebody like Anthony Edwards walks in, but maybe a Jumpman type player. Anthony Edwards walks in on the other side of the court, right? Luka's direct rival, like young, the future of the NBA. He walks in, and then walk with him are Magic and Jay-Z. It's like I said, it's a Super Bowl. It's a big budget.
Yeah, that's a big budget. You trying to get Jay-Z out the house.
His clout.
Yeah. You know
what I'm saying?
Jordan got to make that call himself.
Anthony Edwards, and then Eminem and Bird notice. They're like, maybe Magic say, hey, what up, Bird? Or hey, what up, old timer? And then Bird gives him. And then Jay-Z acknowledges Eminem. Like, what's up, Marshall, or whatever?
Yeah.
Or what's up, M? And then Luka looks over and he stops smiling. So he's like, and then it's like, you see the Jumpman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they're like, you know what I'm saying? They're critiquing him. But then Anthony Edwards walks in, and these two guys are with him, and they're watching, they're critiquing Anthony. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I get it. I don't know.
I think it would be cute. But again, that's all right here. That's all like, I think like that would be that would be historic.
How do you not have those
perfect commercial?
That right there is Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan doing the one-on-one in that one infamous commercial. That right there is, Grant Hill drinks Sprite. They're still trying to recreate those moments. Or Spike Lee, giving the pep talk to Michael Jordan. Like, those are the moments where you don't forget that. I do think Anthony Edwards is on Adidas, so that, you know, supposedly, but I get the idea. And this is something I also, just to cap everything off, because, man, I genuinely appreciate it.
Zion. It could be Zion. It could be Zion.
It could be Zion. Yeah, I give him that.
Yeah. It's not the same, though. It's not the same.
It's not the same. Anthony Edwards got that dog, so it's a little different. But, man, I'll say this, because you said this in the last interview that we had, and I even snipped a clip before we got in here of the same idea that produced the idea you just shared with us is the same idea in the brain that was behind the commercial. I encourage you guys, if this is your first time seeing a conversation between us, absolutely go check out the video that's on this channel, as well as the one that's on the DIYer channel. I don't even know if you know, which is why this is so remarkable. Our original video, our interview, got deleted with the channel that was the Curtis King podcast. That channel got deleted. So there was no access to it. You know, I took my stuff off of streaming. That included my podcast as well. So for people to still, in spite, find that, to me, it just shows you the power of the conversation that we had and the words that you shared. So I don't take that for granted. But now that's re-uploaded. The full hour-long conversation is back on the DIY music station here on YouTube. Okay. Check it out, as well as the original video. But something you said in the first interview that I love was that you created an idea from this mind that made this company had to be billions at least for what you did, right? And within that same mind exists the ability to create these songs, share these ideas, and put together even like these commercial ideas that you're talking about as well. And so with that all in mind, I'm going to throw a curveball at you, but with that all in mind, here we are 2 years. I feel like I'm going to keep doing this with you. What is now your new message for that same generation that grew up on your motivation, your style of motivation? Even if you didn't see it like that in the moment, what is your new message now as the cultural reset button has been pushed moving forward? There's a lot of people who I think are more open than ever to hearing a message that you may have for them. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure.
I think I kind of want to say pay attention, but it's, you know, maybe I'll expound upon, like, I want to say pay attention because you see what's going on, you see what's happening. I mean, see the tides are changing. I think for so long people thought, what I love about what Kendrick is doing is, I think for so long people thought the fulfillment is in the indulgence. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, the indulgence is because of insecurity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, like moderation is good, even in celebration. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, even no matter what you're doing, moderation is good, to be balanced, to be, you know, there's an intelligence that comes with that. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, let me calm down. And so I just feel like, I don't know. I'm hoping we get to a point in humanity where people value being better people and progressing personally. Right. You know what I'm saying? Over, look what I look like. Look at my ass. Look at my tits. Look at my ex. Look at, you know what I'm saying?
I get it.
And there's value to all that stuff I'm just talking about too. There's value to ass and titties and pecs, but it might not be, doesn't have to be value to the world, maybe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Like if my wife has a nice ass, if my wife has a nice ass, I'm gonna value that.
Right.
I'm gonna really value that. But it's for me to value, right?
Right.
And I'm gonna show her how I value that.
Absolutely.
When we're engaged with sex, or maybe we're not sex. Maybe I'll just walk by and I'm gonna be constant rubbing and approving, showing my approval of her, and how attractive she is. But it's not you don't have to share it with the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's an honor in being modest. Maybe that's mine. There's an honor in being modest, and like I seen this girl at church. Not even told nobody. I told it was like wife at first sight. I just saw this girl at church 3 years ago. Like, she's so bad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm being patient. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to do stuff God's way. I'm not trying to have sex before marriage. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I'm trying to actually do stuff right because I've been doing stuff my way.
Right.
But like, I also want to be. It's weird. I've never prayed for a wife, but after seeing this woman,
Yeah.
and I don't know her. I don't know her, but
Mhm.
like she's consistent at church. She's consistent. She's what she checks all the wife boxes. You know what I'm saying?
Ah.
It's not just feeding my flesh either.
Right.
It's like, man, I didn't even know I wanted something like that till I saw it. If that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, I
You
get
know what
that.
I'm saying? Like
I get that.
yeah, wife is it's. But then I saw her. I was like, oh shoot, that could be my wife right there. One of the first
Mm.
times I've seen that. Right. And I haven't really stepped to her at all like that.
Yeah.
Because I want to do things right. It's not about sticking my dick in something. It's not
Right.
about that. I want to be, I never prayed for a wife, but now I pray that God mold me into the man worthy of her.
That's big. That's major. That's
Does
major.
that make
That
sense?
makes
Like,
so
I'm
much
not praying
sense.
for a wife. And it's funny because the male ego, we all think like, yo, God, just give me success and I'll pull a wife.
Not,
That's
but
not, am I right or wrong?
no, you're right because look, I mean, I know I keep bringing it back to this, but there's a lot of life lessons that are being learned through watching vicariously these two juggernauts going back and forth. Somebody brought it up, and that one thing that you continuously see Drake do in that Drake versus Kendrick is attack the women in all of these family dynamics, attack family men, and attack the fact that they are in a family. And then you get one side of this where he attacks the wives, he attacks, like he even followed Mos Def's daughter after Mos Def was critical of his music. And then on the flip side of it, he makes music that talks about not having a complete life when it comes in his relationships, not being able to have, wanting to attain that very
Have it
thing.
both ways.
You can't have it both ways. Yeah, you got all the money in the world, and look how miserable it makes you. One of my favorite quotes is, "Some people are so poor, all they have is money." Never want to be in that position.
Yeah.
Never want to be in
Yeah.
that position. I don't care how much money it is.
There's an irony.
There's an
The
irony to it.
though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it's like Drake could like feasibly have anybody he wants, right? He shows that. That's what he prides himself in. I could take your girl.
Right,
like,
right.
Tell her who you are. I'll DM her and she'll be sitting on my dick and
Right.
like that's kind of his MO a little bit. And
Yeah.
it's based off insecurity, but like it's unfulfilling ultimately. And so like you want one. Like a real man. Like a real man knows one woman is. You know what I'm saying?
That's all you need. That's all
it's
you
an
need.
honor. It's an honor. Man, we need to start looking at it, the honor of loving a woman correctly, the way she deserves. There's an honor to that. It's, and I'm not talking to the player in you. I'm talking to the husband in you. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
And to
yeah.
all men. I'm not talking about the player in men. I'm talking about to the husband in men. There's an honor in being like, you know what, I'm dedicated to her. F everybody else. And yeah, this woman, you're only going to find somebody that has better traits or attributes than somebody else. But like I said, I said, I want God to mold me into the man worthy of her, of the one that's like, oh shoot, I didn't even know I wanted that till I saw it.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. She's always at church and she's like, she's always serving it. How come she's always serving tirelessly? She always has the same attitude. She's consistent. She's always big on praise and worship. And like, man, I need that in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't hurt that she's bad. She's, whatever I like in a woman, physically and aesthetically, that's cool, but that's icing.
Yeah.
I could find that in a club. All that curvatures and all that, I could find that in a club, but like that heart, that dedication. Because
when that,
oh my God, I see how she is with her kids. Man, she loves her kids more than any. Oh, you can tell. Okay. Well, the kids, man, okay. She has a heart that's not selfish. Oh, she dresses modestly. This is a church where there's a lot of accentuated women. You know what I'm saying? In outfits. And amongst all these accentuated women, she dresses modestly.
Yeah.
She's like,
by choice.
But she's the baddest woman in church every Sunday since I laid eyes on her. You dig what I'm saying? The baddest woman at church. And she's the most modest one there.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not. Well, I don't find it weird. I look at it and I say that when you find a woman that checks off the boxes like that for you, same thing as a friendship. When you find a friendship that checks off the boxes, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like extra work to do to stay dedicated. It's a matter of like, I can't even let that even drown into my brain or even like pollute what's going on, because it's not a matter of if I want to love you and try to be with somebody else. It's a matter of, all right, we got in an argument. I tell my wife, I say, don't ever bring up divorce unless divorce is a real conversation. We never bring that up amongst ourselves. No matter, I don't care how crazy of an argument we get into, we don't bring the word up if we're not really about that. It's too easy to dangle that, because once you start bringing it up, to me, it's the beginning of the end. Same thing as a breakup. And so I think with the foundation, you don't want to, because it's like, no, I'm not gonna divorce. I just want you to stop being an asshole, or I want you to listen to me, or I want you to. Basically, the energy is we're trying to work together instead of against one another. We're on the same team, and so I think that's something that foundation wise, a lot of people need to hear, including myself. So I appreciate those reminders, and I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted to kind of get off your chest, or you wanted to, give people an opportunity to connect with you online at all. But this will be going up on the channels. What you got for them? What you want to say to the people?
You know what? I'm gonna re-answer that message.
You got another message.
There's something. Okay. There's something. But before I do, I just want to tell people, or I just want to like update people what I'm into. I'm writing a show.
Okay.
Like an episodic show, like an hour long per episode, and it's a show largely based on me. I can't tell you the name because the name's part of the selling point.
Okay.
The premise of the show, basically it's a show, autobiographical, right?
Okay.
It's a show based on me. It's kind of like it's a comedy. It's almost on some like I don't know, like Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you took Curb Your Enthusiasm, you took everything Jewish out of there, just everything Jewish, and inserted blackness. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
Very comedic and funny. And on the opposite spectrum, where Larry David is this like big wig, he's very successful, he's got a lot of money, he's rich, you know what I'm saying? All that.
Right.
You got my character who's played, it's a rendition of me. It's based on me, the character. But he, and Larry David, he did Seinfeld, and he's in the post-Seinfeld era of his life. So my character is in the post-commercial era of his life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and with my character, the people constantly bring up the commercial in his life, and it's an annoyance to him.
Okay.
So for him, he's trying to move on with life, and people are always like, "Oh my God, aren't you?" You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so like in every situation, that's kind of underlying and overlying every situation.
Right.
That past stardom or past celebrity or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in this comedy, I'm breaking like every rule too. I'm leaning into every subject that they say you want to avoid.
Okay.
So race and politics, I'm really leaning into.
Right.
on some line item, like, okay, we're gonna do an episode about affirmative action. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, okay, we're gonna do an episode on critical race theory. Okay, boom. I'm gonna tackle this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to the voice. I'm sick of our voices being wasted, and I'm sick of us being marginalized, and I want to tackle all these subjects because we got to show our perspective, right?
Yeah.
We got to show our perspective. We got to show that's our voice. The thing is, like, our ancestors didn't have a voice, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our ancestors didn't have a voice in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I mean, blaxploitation kind of gave us a little bit of voice, but it wasn't a marginal, large. It wasn't a mainstream big voice,
right.
Pop culture voice.
Right.
So So we need to be careful with our voice, but we need to voice our perspectives. And so if that has to do with politics and race, we need that voice. And we can't duck it because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. That's facts.
And so I'm leaning into all this. I'm in my show I'm writing. I mean, I've written it. I'm just transcribing it into a different format.
Right.
Into a screenplay format. But I touch on a lot of cultural stuff. The whole premise of the show is I'm taking it's a comedy, but I'm taking a Freudian look at racism in America and abroad too. But so that's kind of the premise. It's a comedy, but I'm looking at racism through a Freudian lens. So there's obviously sexuality involved in it and all that. But it's going to be funny and hilarious. And the title is so jarring. The title's part of the buy. Like once Netflix and them hear the title, they're gonna we'll buy it. Fucking don't care if it's bullshit. Because the title's gonna want to make people watch.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking forward to that.
I've copywritten it, but I haven't got a lawyer down and all that, so I don't want to tell the title. But it's gonna be dope. It's
man,
dope.
well, I'm looking forward to all of these creative ventures and more, man. And I look forward to being whatever support I can in the process. You got something else you wanted to add to what you said?
Yeah. Well, no. I just wanted to touch on the actual message you said. You asked me for a message.
Yeah. That's right.
You know, I just want to and this is more on a faith-based, tip. I know we always have church a little bit.
We got to. It wouldn't be right if we didn't.
When we get together, we always got a little bit of church. There's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to just point out that everybody's worried about legacy.
Right.
Everybody's worried about legacy. And it doesn't elude anybody, like everybody in the back of my mind, legacy. So you look at like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, both MJs. Whose legacies are bigger than both MJs? Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, right?
Right.
One's dead, one's still here. My point though is when you get to heaven, nobody's gonna remember none of this stuff. Like what I'm saying is our eternity, as human beings, our eternity is in heaven or hell. But our eternity is in places that none of our earthly, like when Kendrick says what happens on earth stays on earth, nobody's going to give a crap about Michael Jordan's human feats in heaven. Now, God will probably commend him about, how many people did you bring to me? How many people did you bring to Christ? How many people did you know what I'm saying? Like if Jordan brought 1,000 people, that would be, I think God would brag on that. Oh, he brought me 3,000 people. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to care about the 500 million people that bought his sneakers. You know what I'm saying?
No, because
so what I'm saying is, as human beings, we're always worried about legacy. Right. We're always worried about how I'm going to be remembered. What I'm saying is, in eternity in hell, nobody's going to care about Jordan's shoes while they're burning, while they're being tortured. They're tormented. Nobody's going to be worried. Nobody's going to care about Jordan's shoes. Nobody's going to care about your legacy or my legacy or anybody's legacy. Right? Same way in heaven, we're going to be in the presence of God. In heaven, with golden paved roads and Jesus building us mansions, and he's a carpenter, so and he knows what our heart, he knows, like, we're not going to be worried about Michael Jordan's records. Like I love discussing that, him and LeBron and all that right here on earth, but don't get caught up in your legacy.
Right.
If you do, focus on your heavenly legacy. That's why I'm kind of focused on. I'm starting to transition. I'm really focused on ministry because I want to have a legacy in heaven.
Yeah. There's
no such thing as a legacy here on earth. What happens on earth stays on earth.
Right. So
that's my message.
Man, straight up. I love it. One more time, man. Tunde here. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. Man, like I said, once again, I'm grateful that you are here to share such powerful messages. Give us an opportunity to see the other side of things, because I think a lot of people want to, they want to put folks inside of a box, and it's like, no, we are all complex individuals. We all have our own dynamic views, and I'm grateful always when you're here to share them in an unfiltered way, because they remind me at the same time to never bite your tongue, because like you said, at the end of the day, the only validation that matters is the man upstairs. And man, I always appreciate you, and I thank you. And yeah, DIYers, thank y'all so much for choosing to watch today. Definitely leave some commentary below if you have any questions. I'll make sure I relay those over. World Star, get your facts straight. All of you other folks, get your facts straight. I gotta let you know what it is.
Hey, I'm just uncle. I love everybody though. Just know that World Star and baller alert, all that. I'm not all that. I got no hostility. I know y'all just getting your bread. I'm not tripping.
Yeah, and then everybody else too. Make sure you look at who you crediting too. I'm gonna just say that and leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. God, I know you got them. God. You got them. But man, thank you so much again, and yeah, we'll be talking to you soon.
Word, man. Yeah.
DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.